go down that path, right? Like learn. And then you'll be able to say, you can make the decision as you're talking with them. It's Thursday! What's happening, Sales Center? Hope you're doing good today. It is Thirsty Thursday. I hope you've had a stellar week. We have just entered the month of December. I hope you are on a December sprint. Hey, look, if you're not, listen to me very closely right now. Set yourself a goal between now and the end of December. What are you racing towards? How many sales calls do you need to create? Connection calls do you need to make? Outreaches do you need to complete in order to grow your business by any certain percentage? If you haven't marked down those numbers, you need to do it now. If you're listening to the recording, stop this thing right now and literally write out, hey, I want to grow my business incrementally this much this month. How much activity you need to actually get there? And here's the other thing. On the other side of this, set yourself a reward, right? Reward and punishment systems are super effective. What is that thing that you've been wanting for Christmas? That inner desire, that one thing that you're like, oh man, I wish I could buy this for myself. Set that as your goal. Figure out how much business you need to generate in order to create the cash flow so that you can go invest in the thing that you truly want to get. Because when you do that, you will win. But let's dive into today's high ticket tune-up. It comes directly from Mr. Bill S. Bill says this, Sean, a few of my prospects have said, I already have a coach. Do you have anything I can say back? Yes, Bill, of course we do. We always have great responses. Now, the first thing that I see when I see this question is the situational context is going to be very, very important when it comes to this particular question. And it's a very, very common question. A lot of prospects these days that are into kind of buying coaches or investing in coaches and getting started going down the path of learning something so they can become an expert are going to use this excuse more and more and more. So the longer that you stay in the game, if you actually are doing coaching, the longer the more and more often that you're going to start to hear this. It's okay, just as long as you have a couple of different directions that you can go with this. So the first thing I would think is I would share with you is I say, listen, do you believe that this is a minor or a major deal breaker? Right? A minor deal breaker, no problem. You can usually jump right over it. A major deal breaker, then we're going to have to take a little bit of a different tactic or strategy. So what I typically will do in this particular situation is the first question I say is just 2 words. Hey, Sean, I already have a coach. And I would be there for a second and I would kind of cock my head. Body language is important. So here's the role play. I'll do it for you so you can watch. It's cool. So if I'm on Zoom, it sounds something like this. Hey, Sean, I already have a coach. Which means, that's it. Just 2 words, just which means, and drop that question right back at them. And they'll come back and they'll say something like, well, I already have a coach that's doing this, this, and this. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, tell me more about that. Now, your objective in asking them to tell you more is very simple. One thing that we need to focus on here when we get to this part of the conversation, we need to understand, is this a major or minor, right? So we need to understand that. But the bigger thing we need to think about is, does the coaching they're currently receiving conflict with the coaching that you teach? If yes, this means it's going to probably fall into the category of more major deal breaker, and there's a way to handle that. If no, for example, in my world, right, like I have a series of coaches. Any professional at anything, whether it's a professional athlete, professional salesperson, professional doctor, professional lawyer, has a series of coaches, right? Think about it. When I was playing college baseball, I remember I would have a hitting coach, and then I would have a conditioning coach, and then I would have a strength coach, and then I would have a pitching coach, and I would have a fielding coach, and I'd have all these coaches, and I'd have a whole coaching staff, right? And most professional people have a coaching staff. Therefore, if they say, yes, I already have a coach, and for again, going back to my example, is like, I could say that all the time. If I'm ever talking about that, I would probably throw that as, I would never throw that as an excuse, but I could throw it as an excuse. It's like, I already got a coach, right? And then it would be vague. It wouldn't make sense. So the job here is when you get to ask this question, you need to dig and figure out, does it conflict with what you do? So somebody came to me and said, hey, I want to be your marketing coach. I'd be like, I'm sorry, Russell Brunson's my marketing coach, right? Way more specific. There's no way that that person can convince me otherwise because I know Russell's the best in the world, right? However, if somebody came to me and they said, hey, Sean, I'm a professional Instagram coach, and I was looking to grow my Instagram channel. Guess what? There's going to be a thing there. it's not top of my list, but it's Instagram. I don't know Instagram very well. So I'd be like, yes, I am looking for an Instagram coach. Are you we could go down that pathway, right? Or I could say that like, no, sorry, I've already got a coach. Russell's my marketing coach. Even though he's my marketing coach, he's not my Instagram coach, right? So if I'm that coach, I could turn around and say, well, which means what? Like what is Russell actually teaching you? And that person could dig in and say, what kind of marketing does he teach you? Well, he teaches me copy, and he teaches me sales funnels, and he teaches me a lot of other things. I don't hear Instagram in there. Yeah, a door probably just opened, and now we can have a harder conversation about should I pick up an Instagram coach or not at that stage. And that sales professional should then be asking me questions to get me down that lane. And same thing for you. So the secret is does it conflict with what you're currently selling? Again, does it conflict with what you're coaching on, right? So, I have Alex Sharfin as a business systems coach. I have Russell as a marketing coach. I have a copywriting coach. I have all these different coaches all over the place. And so same thing here is like, it's okay to have more than one coach, but some people say, no, I only do one coach at a time. Cool. Great. What's the one coach you're working with helping you on? Oh, well, they're helping you on this. Oh, great. Right. And if they say something like that, where it's now they only have one coach, but it's a major deal breaker, a little different strategy. Here's the move. So you say, oh, great. Well, what's that one coach that you're working with right now helping you with? This, and this. Oh, great. How's that impacting your business? What's happening there? I'm so excited you have a coach. Be excited for them because they're growing their business. They're doing the right thing. They're trying to enhance their world and make a bigger impact. That's awesome. Like celebrate, right? That's a win. Get into that program. This is really great because if you sell a coaching program, you can get a lot of data by asking questions. Hey, how'd that coach even find you? How'd you start working with them? What was that experience like when you first started going down that path? Like, tell me more about what made you decide to jump over the trigger and buy with that particular coach. I'm just getting data. I'm gathering intel. I'm understanding how long is that coaching program with the person you're currently working with. Oh, it ends next week? Cool. What are you going to do then? How far along are you in the advancement of installing whatever it is that they're teaching you? Like there's all these questions you can just dump on them about what that coach is helping them with in their business. And you can truly define like, hey, it conflicts with me or it doesn't. If it doesn't, this is probably a minor thing. And we should keep having the conversation to get through it to the place where I can actually help them with the thing that I coach them on. And that might give you, Bill, a little bit more of an idea of where you can go. So the way to start this is someone says, hey, I already got a coach, which means say it with tonality. Maybe do a little lean in, say it softly, hey, which means, and then just be quiet. Because then they'll respond with, oh, well, it means this and this. Oh, great, tell me more. Like, what are they actually helping you coach or coaching you on? Cool, great. How do you get involved with them? Go down that path, right? Like learn. And then you'll be able to say, you can make the decision as you're talking with them, like, oh, this conflicts or it doesn't. If doesn't, then press harder. If does, then ask more about the program, get a lot of data, and then say, oh, so you're finishing in about a week. It looks like you're going to have another like 15 days or so to kind of wrap that up. Like, how should we proceed? Because I know what they just taught you is going to dovetail perfectly into what I will coach you through, and I'll make you explode off what they've already put in place as a foundation. Here's the one next step that we would take when you're ready. See what they say. Because guess what? You're working together. You're now part of the coaching staff of that person, even explaining, hey, I have a coaching staff. Do you have a coaching staff? Why wouldn't you want one? Does that fit in your world, right? Because everybody's different. And so that might be another way that you could approach this. But again, this is a great question. This is like literally, truly like the hard work that you'll do. And here's what I'll say, Bill, is write down 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 answers on every particular situation that you could think of in your mind when this question comes up. Because if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 4, or maybe even 3 or 2 different ways to attack when somebody says this question to you, you could turn around with your questioning strategies and then just play it cool because you already know which way you're going to go. And that's great because then you'll win the game, right? And literally that will help you squash this objection, jump over the speed bump, move to the next steps, and just remember the clear future, right? If you're in that spot where you know that it's a conflict or it's a deal breaker, it's a major one, you're not going to be able to jump through it, literally show them how your and their coaching style, if you're selling coaching, for example, fit together and what would be the next step after they finish that thing, get a timeline, and then buckle them down on a specific time on the calendar to say, hey, when should we talk again about this? Oh, yeah, I think it should be right around here. What do you oh, that'd be perfect. Okay, great. Let's talk then, right? And then set the time on the calendar, give them a little agenda, and here's the one thing, like, hey, I want to know this one thing that you're going to pull from that coach. Like this piece will be critical for me to know in that call. So you can get that for me, right? Yes. little bit of homework. And again, we're going to meet back on this day, this time. Sound good? Perfect. And now you're good. Now you've got them right where you want them. And you just have to wait the time, right? Because it's a long game. And just remind them and remind yourself as you're having a conversation, yo, you're just playing in their sandbox. When they want to come build a big sandcastle, then they need to come over your way because you got all the tools to help them build a mega mansion sandcastle. And with that said, happy Thursday. It's Thirsty Thursday. I hope this helped you today. Again, if this was valuable, please smash that love button, that like button, that thumbs up, whatever it is. And definitely share this to somebody that could also use it. Drop a comment below. If you have any questions that I can help go further or deep on, definitely if there's anything sales related, I love it. I geek on it. Share it with me. I would be happy to answer it. With that said, I will see you guys next week. Go fight, win December. Hit your goal. Talk to you later.